Hey guys, we want to just go ahead and hop into it, but as the title says, we're going to be learning pixel art together. And not just any pixel art, we're doing 8 by 8, which is the smallest canvas not possible, but you probably really can work with. Um this is going to be a very chill, relaxed video. I have a script to talk about. I'm just gonna show you guys a process to help you if you don't know any pixel art or are trying to learn. Um, I do enough. I'm good enough that I feel like I can make the things I kind of want to make, and I'm not trying to make you a master, but I'm trying to get you at least to the same level where you can oh, okay, so if I want to draw this, I can. So, but back to the whole premise of helping each other learn. I don't use 8 by 8 at all. So this is one of my first few times work. I've done it before, but I don't use the artwork at all because I can never really get a look how I look because you only get so much space. But first tip when it comes to learning pixel art, do not be scared of tracing. Do not be scared of tracing. There is nothing wrong with tracing something to get an idea of what you want to look like and then deviating from the idea by changing it up a little bit. As you can see, I start off with a banana, which I was terrified that I was not going to be able to get this at least looking decent enough for y'all. The thing about 8-bit artwork is that you have to use detail and coloring to kind of show what the item is, as you can see, I added a little darker color, and then I added some green and brown to the ends to kind of give the stem. Another thing you could probably do is, if you don't have a lot of space to work with, is coloring the outlines to try to give it a little depth and a little pop. It might not be the best looking banana. Like I told y'all, I'm not the best. I'm not claiming to be a pixel master. I think I do enough to be called a pixel artist, but I hold no candle to some of the talent that we see out here. But I'm using it to make the tools I need for my game because only I know what my ideas are, and I know some of you are gonna feel me on that. And there's nothing wrong with excuse me. There's nothing wrong with using assets, but it always feels good to create something of your own. And I know some people are more code knowledgeable than they are when it comes to pixel art, but anybody can truly learn pixel art. I promise you. I had no art knowledge at all. And I've been learning for about a good year and a half now. And one of the best things you can do is just trust your gut. Make the item as best as you can. This might not be the best looking banana, but it's my banana. And as long as the person playing your game or looking at your project can understand what that item is. So as long as the gamer knows this is a banana, mission accomplished. And you can only increase. You can only get better. Like I said, with 8-bit, you have to choose colors. We'll choose colors to try to make it pop and give definition. You will see me change design choices a few times in this video, and that's the whole process to see how it looks. Next up, we got this octopus, which was really a real struggle for me. I think I got a kind of decent one a kind of decent looking one, but I'll let y'all be the judge. But we're here to learn. We're here to learn together. No judgment. If there's one thing I know about people who make games is that they judge themselves a lot harder than the general public will. And don't get me wrong, they will judge you hard, but you have to put out what you have and what you can. And there's nothing wrong with improvement later. You have to actually do it to improve, though. Um, a lot of people are on their like fourth or fifth project. You're fine. I'm on like my seventh or eighth, and then some people are on the 20th and never released anything. Just put it out. Put it out, and at least you have something that's yours, and you can say I did that, and no one else can take that away from you. All right, sorry y'all to go kind of go off the tangent, but like back to like learning 8-bit pixel art. We're doing a octopus here. And as you can see, I was having a little trouble struggling with the appendages, and I purposely chose this because I knew it'll be difficult on an 8x8, but I'm going to try to do my best. You know, that's what we do on this channel. We do our best, or better saying, what can you do when you can do nothing? What can you do when you can't do nothing, but there's nothing you can do? You do what you can. So that's what we're doing. Now, I've never drawn an octopus before. This is the first time y'all ever seen me attempt this, and it's the first time I've ever done this. The strategy I'm kind of using is trying to like get a resemblance of the appendages, but as you can see, when it comes to 8-bit, the squares or the pixels are they're huge in comparison to like the image that I'm tracing. I think the best strategy is to just make it look as close as you can to the thing you are tracing or copying, and then try to work on details from there. Like as you can see, I changed a few pixels around. I'm coloring in a little bit. I'm changing the outline. Spoiler warning, it does not look like the best octopus, but you know, it's an octopus. And I feel like once with 8-bit, once you start animating it, which I'll have another video on how to animate, because I know, you know, drawing and animating, it's two different things. For some people it comes naturally, but for others it's completely two different battles. When you have a 8-bit picture like this and you start to animate it, usually when you start to animate, it starts to kind of resemble what you're trying to portray. And I was thinking about like animating these, but in this video, but stop exposing me. I was thinking about animating these little designs in this video, but I decided not to and just make a whole separate video about it. Same thing with layering. Layering is important. Always make sure you layer. Do not draw on one canvas like you see I'm doing. This is because these are quick little sketches. Layering is very important. I'll have a whole video on layering. These are things that I wish people would have taught me, and it took me longer to learn, so I'm trying to tell you. It really is truly easier just to do layers. As you can see, I got my little octopus. He got his little, you know, his little Sid Sloth eyes. I think it looks like an octopus-ish. It looks like something with appendages. I can tell you that. But that doesn't matter. It's mine, and I love it. And that's my creation. And that's how you have to feel about yours. It's not about just learning it. It's also about being proud of what you made. Now, the thing I like to do is sometimes when I preview it, I'll move it around to see how I think it will move, and does it look like that object while it's moving. And these are just little tips and tricks that I use. What other tips and tricks can I give y'all? If you ever want just a dark outline, the black outline, that's fine. Sometimes I do feel like the darker color outline makes it pop more, and you can like give it some detail. But dark line is fine too. I often use I do a mix, to be honest with you. As you can see, I wanted to put the eyes in the middle, but I couldn't again because, like I said, limited spacing. And wow. And this thing is ugly. Oh my goodness. This is a horror picture. This is a space invader. But yeah, just tweak it a little bit, and tweak it and just trust the process. Do not abandon it. That's one thing I learned too about pixel art is you have to trust the process. You have to trust yourself and then see what you make at the end. Because if you quit before the end, you'll never know what it was going to become. That's a bar. Also, I'm pretty sure there are plenty other pixel artists or pixel masters that know how to do 8-bit way better than me. So like this is just a basics 8-bit designed pixel art, and you want to really go out there and see some like really good ones. There are all types of YouTubers or people around the community. Just do a little research, you'll see it. But yeah, this is my little octopus. He's just chilling along. And sometimes I like to zoom in and back out to see how it look, up close versus on probably a screen, because they're seeing a smaller version of what you're doing. So to them, it looks like a lot of detail. Now, I will say it might be easier or harder for someone to learn 8-bit versus 16 versus 32. I think I started with around 32 because I even found 16 too small. But after 32, I got comfortable with 32. I started working on 16. And then after I got comfortable on 16, I started working on, well, right now I'm working on 8. So after I got comfortable with 16, I'll do 8. And I was like, you know what? Let me do videos, detailed videos about how tips and how to learn and how I learned to do pixel art about each of these various sizes and stuff like that. Because I know there are a lot of videos that go into detail, but not like real, like how did you learn? Like how did you get so good? And I'm not saying that I'm good, but I'm saying, I'm competent, I think. Watch somebody comes on here that, oh, this is disgusting. You call yourself a pixel artist? Nah, G, nah. It's just, I'm trying to learn so I can do the best I can with my game. And even I have a really good habit of like, I like to, sometimes I'll just randomly draw stuff while I instead of playing a game. My hobby will be either making music for the game or drawing pixel art for it. And some things I won't use and some things I will, but I have a good habit of things I do not use to always keep it saved so that in case I need it in the future, I have it. So I will now have an octopus, a banana, and a motorbike basically, if I ever need it. Now, this motorbike is probably the easier, probably second easiest versus the banana, because I'm trying to get to like the dimensions, and I go through a few wheel changes a few times. But if I were to use this, I would probably layer on a person, and I wouldn't draw them onto the main sheet. And I would probably, if I was using this, first I'll use layers, the wheels and the base, and then the wheels and then the base of the model by themselves on separate layers, so that I can animate and rotate the wheels. And then on another layer would probably be a person, but to be honest, they also going to require layers if you want to show like a little arm movement or like a little up and down action to show like movement and buoyancy, or like how it is to ride a bicycle, just to give it a little life. That's one of the main reasons you do layers. But like I said, these are quick little sketches, and I'll have a whole video dedicated to layering. But yeah, this is my little motorbike. I'm trying to decide what like tires I like. I'm trying to see if I can ever get box tires to work. I know I can, but right now I think I'm just gonna go with the cross design. Change the color a few times and then just test it out. And that's the first thing too, is y'all test, finish it, see how it looks. This ain't it. That's why layering is so important too, is because you can just change a certain body part instead of trying to erase all that and end up cutting out some of the other parts you don't mean to. This is why layering is important. But yeah, I'm testing out right now. You know, got a little zoom. You know, we from far away, and then I can do it up close to the camera to kind of see. But to also convince myself that it looks like the thing I'm animating is that not the thing I'm animating, thing I'm making is that I animate it a little bit. So I'll do a little frames, you know. And also, by the way, yeah, if y'all want to know the program I'm using, Pixel Studio, it is free. I'll make sure that is the correct name. If it's not, I'll correct it in the comments or description. But yeah, Pixel Studio, completely free. But yeah, this is my little bike. It's my little motorbike, and nobody can tell me about them. But yeah, y'all. Thank you for watching, and I'll be releasing more, you know, helpful tips for beginner game developers like I am, and hopefully I can at least help a few people. One or two would be nice. I don't expect a lot, but one or two would at least be nice. And expect videos on not just pixel art. You know, we'll be learning Godot. I'll be trying to explain Godot a little bit better because I feel like Godot is a hard program to learn, and I'll explain my whole process of making music. But thank you guys so much. I've already yapped enough. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.